Welcome back, everybody, to the latest episode, episode 4 of IAmRight, also known as What the Fuck Today, WTF.
With everything that's happening, Jesus, man.
I know.
You couldn't make it up. But I got to say one thing on top of the show.
I'm rocking Mike. We got Rob here, Knowledge Bottom Right, and of course, the mighty Eric Moore right there.
With the red shirt. He got the red shirt.
With the red shirt. Look out.
Not going to make it.
No, you're not going to make it. Or a liberal might think you're a MAGA person. Oops.
Case you want to train?
Hey, how quick did those fucking...
How quick
did China...
Deport me!
How quick did China bend the knee in 3 months of... No, nothing. Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah. So, all right. So here we are on IAmRight once again. And I just want to thank the viewers. The show's been doing very well out of the gate, right? Wouldn't you say, Rob?
Yeah.
We're getting over 1,000 views, it seems, here and there.
Yeah, one show got 1,000. But you know what it is with freaking they take some numbers away, then they give us back. So I don't understand that.
Yeah, we're clearly shadow banned. I don't give a shit, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it is what it is.
So we talked about a lot of things the last couple of shows, and this show is going to be no different. There's so much going on. We got to talk about the big win in the Middle East for Trump, the big win, China bending a knee on the tariffs. We got to talk a little bit about the mayoral race in New York City that's coming up this year. Got a bunch of losers on the Democrat side. We're going to rip apart. And whatever else comes up, because we always talk shit. So
India and Pakistan
ready to nuke each other, but actually they kind of backed off now, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second, because that's something that flares up every few years.
Yeah.
These people hate each other. They have for decades, really, probably since the 1940s, I would say. And what always gets me about that situation is, how the hell did either one of them get nuclear weapons? Eric.
Tech support.
You mean Steve from tech support?
Steve's from tech support.
Yeah.
Technology.
Do you hear what a comedian said? Comedians say 3 minutes after they settled down, all call center went live again.
Oh
Good.
man!
So the next time
That's
you need customer
me.
service, they can talk to you. Not in their bunkers hiding from nukes.
What's that? What's that, Node?
I said now you can actually call tech support. They're not in their bunkers hiding from nukes.
There's no 3-hour wait for a tech while he's ready to launch a nuke in India. Oh man! Or Pakistan, the same shit. But I've always been baffled how that was allowed to happen. I mean, we're sitting there, talking with Iran right now for the 100th time. Obviously, we got to pick up the mess that the Obama administration started with that. But how did we allow? I mean, it was just like one day we woke up and Pakistan had nukes and India had nukes.
You know what they got it from? I think they got it from England. So the most, but they were only aiming for each other. That's why they did the whole Kashmir thing.
Yeah,
it's all Kashmir. That's really what the fight is.
It's just like it's almost stupid that they fight for this piece of land. It's almost like you really can't do much with it.
But originally,
and plus go ahead.
Originally, aren't they all the same country? Like from back in the day,
when they were under British colonial rule, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Pakistan split off, because if you talk to them, they'll say that they're the same country. It's kind of like a Taiwan and China thing. It's really the same country. Yeah. And then there was a split, and now they just don't like each other.
Well, I think what the split is over religion, because obviously Pakistanis are Muslims, the Indians are mostly Hindu.
Hindus are Christian. Yeah.
So that's probably why those borderlines were created, to separate the two areas.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing, but I off the top of my head, I'm remembering something now too about North Korea somehow giving Pakistan nuclear technology. That happened, Eric?
No, because North Korea, well, Pakistan has had nukes for a long time, and North Korea
had nukes. So does India for a long time.
Yeah. North Korea is just, what, in the last maybe 10 years?
Wasn't that a failure of the Clinton administration? Like they never watched North Korea, and all of a sudden
they never watched anybody.
Right.
Anybody. They were so focused on Russia
and playing saxophone.
Yeah, and playing saxophone. Yeah,
and Monica playing his saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Honking on his horn.
I did not have sexual relations
with that woman. It depends what you define is.
True.
If he didn't fuck her, just got a blowjob. Technically, he didn't have sexual relations. He just got a blowjob.
Yeah, tell your girlfriend that or your wife that. That works.
Yeah. That's
it works for me.
You're gonna get into, you might as well just finish.
I did not have sexual relationship with that woman, but she did blow me. Yes.
That doesn't count.
Nah.
Doesn't count.
Unless it's behind the curtain.
Exactly. But I think it's absolutely nuts that either one of them has nukes, especially Pakistan, because what's stopping? The CIA must be in there like constantly watching everything. Otherwise, they would have proliferated all over the Middle East with that shit.
Well, I think you look at their religion. They are religious, but they're not religious zealots. They're not like in Iran or something like that, or in old Syria. I would put them closer to probably Iraq under Saddam. They're crazy, but they're not crazy.
But Pakistan doesn't have those crazy rules like Saudi Arabia or other places. They're not really that. Crazy.
No.
They're more moderate. They're more moderate.
They're kind of like Turkey, like you can drink there and stuff, and
they're more moderate.
To be a little more like moderate, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's an area that for years they've been saying is probably the most likely place in the world for a nuke to go off. Actually, I've heard that in different studies. I don't know. But
that's between if it's India and Pakistan, those two motherfuckers can blow each other away.
And there'll still be plenty of them left.
Oh yeah.
What the problem? If this country was smart, we will find a way to have India and China go to each other and wipe each other out. That's billions of people gone.
That's 2 billion off rip.
It would be pretty good.
Definitely.
But their location, if there was a nuclear war between the two, their location, they would jack up a lot of people.
Everybody.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
Russia's right there, and China's close.
Korea.
Right there,
then you have Korea's, yeah.
That's the thing. Once that genie's out of the bottle, we're all fucked.
You can't pull it back.
That shit would make it all over the world, man.
Yeah,
it would.
Yeah, even one small one doesn't matter. So you mentioned Syria before, and another win for the Trump administration this week.
Mm-hmm.
Trump went to the Middle East, and I have to say, I watched some of this. I don't give a shit when the president goes anywhere, but I had to watch some of this because the ceremonies were different than I'd ever seen before, especially from that part of the world.
They went out of their way,
and I don't know if you saw this. I think it was in Saudi Arabia. It was either Saudi Arabia or Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but they had these women that were long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they were going like this and rolling their hair around, and there was like dozens of them in this, like a parade type setting. Yeah. Okay, and what I read about it is that they never do this except for like serious, like people they consider like kings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And well, did you hear Trump's speech that he made?
A part of it.
When he said people came here and they tried to build nations and they knew nothing about your culture.
What was going on? Yep.
Yeah, he said your culture built everything you have here. Nation builders didn't do it. They destroyed everything.
Right.
That was pretty interesting that he even brought that up.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
He said that Western civilizations or Western cultures came there trying to push their culture.
Yeah.
On the Middle East, and they didn't even understand the Middle East.
Yeah.
True. I mean, definitely after 9/11.
Oh yeah, but think about what Catholic did years ago. They would take people and beat them into being Catholic or something.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Muslims did that too. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Muslims did it too.
Yeah, I mean, every religion has its sordid history, but the thing with this trip is in every country he's at, he's making fantastic diplomatic headway. Okay.
Oh, the deals. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, this is somebody that the left and the haters and the know-nothings just it makes their heads explode because it goes against everything that they say. I mean, remember when everybody said Bush was stupid, George W. Bush?
Yeah.
And inarticulate, stupid, because sometimes he had the Southern accent, Texas accent.
No, but you know what the one thing that Bush say that you never want to use? This is a crusade. But he used the word.
Never want to say that.
Crusade's not a good word to use.
Once you start saying you're on a crusade after 90, it was
like,
and another thing was right before the trip, the State Department announced that they were going to start calling the Persian Gulf the Arabian Gulf. Okay, and that we don't even understand it here, but in that
that means big because Persia is Iran,
right? Yeah. Right. And so what you're doing is you're further isolating Iran, okay, which Trump did that fantastically the first time around.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, Biden reversed that big time and emboldened them, which is why you have the Houthis and October 7th in Israel and Hamas and Hezbollah, all that acting up. But by calling it, and what I understood is that in the past, when we were dealing with Saudi Arabia and kind of like one-on-one stuff or other Arab countries involved, we always referred to it as the Arabian Gulf in the talks.
Right.
In the talks. But from now on, that's like what he did with the Gulf of Mexico, calling it the Gulf of America. Now the map is going to say that.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that is, you could play it down and say it doesn't mean shit, but the symbolism.
If it didn't mean anything, Mexico wouldn't be so pissed.
Of course. Well, look, this guy, Trump can't do nothing right? I mean, no matter what he does, they're never going to give him.
The guy got them to play YMCA in a country that is anti-gay.
You stole my thunder. I was going to bring that up. Dan, when I saw that last night, I was if anybody has a chance to see it on my Facebook, I put up. I was on that show live from Studio 6B. I was in the studio audience, and then I got interviewed. It's a show that I've been watching for years. It's a political panel show, not much different than this, but a little bit better quality. And it's a bunch of guys. They're all like from New York, and sitting around and talking like we do. And I've been in contact with these guys, these hosts, like online and conversations and stuff. And I finally got down there. I met somebody that was able to get me studio tickets, audience tickets. So me and Sandy went down, and they were showing that clip last night of the I think it was in Saudi Arabia. There was a band playing like a musical version of YMCA, and they had these dancers and everything. And one of the guys brought up, he's like, "Do you realize that this is a song sung by gay guys in a country with gays?"
They also played the song when he after he gave his speech, and the leader there comes out and he's smiling. The song is playing, and he's shaking Trump's hand, and I'm looking at it going, "This is awesome."
Only knew.
They had to have known. They're not ignorant. They're not,
How about with Trump with macho?
I'm gonna pull the plug though if they do in the Navy. That's what I'm gonna do. Don't do that. Oh man, but I mean it's one win after another, and he went to Syria. He spoke to the leader there. Now the leader there is an ex-Al-Qaeda affiliate.
Yeah, he was actually imprisoned in Iraq.
And that had me very concerned when he took control of Syria. But from what early reports are showing, and I'm sure that Trump administration knows even more, is this guy seems to like have swung to the middle, and he's moderate.
Yeah.
Well, he's allowed Christians and Jews to openly worship in Syria.
Yeah,
Wow.
Al Qaeda would never have allowed that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. Well, look, I mean, you go back 2,000 years, and there was a very strong Christian church in Syria. That's where a lot of the biblical, you hear about cities like Antioch and stuff like that. That was all in Syria. Okay. And, as Islam rose, those religions were wiped out. They were allowed to flourish in some places like Iraq.
Yeah. Iraq was Saddam's second-hand man was a Christian.
That's right. What was his name?
I don't remember.
Didn't he have a name like under like a deck of cards? Like it was like
I don't know.
9 of clubs or something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was something like that. But he allowed that, and we haven't seen that in 20 years basically across that part of the Middle East. It's been nothing but persecution of everything.
And he also urged them to have ties with Israel.
Well, that's what that's going to lead to is like Abraham Accords 2.0.
Yeah.
I think. What do you think, Knowledge? I mean, he's going to have to roll that out again, right?
Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you got this war going on in Israel, okay? And the media has totally blown, this whole thing out of proportion, declaring all these like war crimes. I mean these war crimes that Israel supposedly is committing. Eric, have you seen any evidence of it?
No.
Other than just talk.
No, exactly. Look, it's the media. The media is anti-Israel no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Just like the media, all the protests going on here. It's not really anti-Semitic. But Israel Zionist. But.
Yeah.
When you use the word Zionist.
Yeah.
In that context, you're already anti-Semitic.
Well, I like to play my favorite game called Flip It. What if somebody from Mexico, a group from the Mexican government or the Canadian government, came into the United States and killed 1,000 people? What would we do here in the U.S.?
We'd be at war.
You saw what we did for 9/11.
Yeah. That was just a couple of buildings.
Yeah. Well, it was people too, but still, yeah.
Yeah, but right.
Yeah, you saw what we did for that. We went to war and we toppled nations. So when people try to say, Israel's overreacting, they went in and slaughtered, burned babies in ovens. Come on. I think we would have nuked people.
Yeah, probably if it was us. Yeah, somebody did.
You know what the crazy thing is? You got all these Americans defending these Palestinians. You know what would happen if those Americans went there? They would kill them.
Did
you see
that stupid?
Queers for Gaza.
Like they have the gays for Palestinians.
Yeah, queers for Gaza. Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Gaza. Yeah.
Go over there and see how long that protest lasts.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
I said they will kill you.
They don't
you want to know that's setting up.
In that part of the world, if they had a rally like that, a 9-year-old would kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, it would be insane. They would just.
Well, what was it? Wasn't it just last year they stoned someone for being gay?
Yeah. Don't get it.
Yeah, they don't
I tell people, don't get it twisted. The United States and like Western, like Europe and United States and Canada, those are really the only places that you can outwardly be gay with no repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like there was a country in Africa, I forget, the president was like, Obama went over there.
I think it was Uganda.
Yeah. And they were like, well, if you don't accept this, we won't give you aid. And he was basically like, well, you know what? We don't need your money. We're not accepting that here. We don't do that here.
Yeah. I think that was Uganda. I kind of remember.
Same thing with women. Women, I go, do you realize in Gaza, if you protested like you did here in the United States, they would kill you.
Yeah.
They would kill you.
These people protest. They have no idea. They don't have the history. They just going by whatever It might be a TikToker that say, "Oh, blah blah blah." And it's simple.
And they go by their feelings.
Right. I mean, the problem with America is we're in like a bubble.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we think that, I mean, I don't, but there's too many, and I know you guys don't, that think, you know, the rest of the world is like us. And it's so far the opposite that, you know, we look at
Well,
everything. It's almost amazing.
it goes even beyond that. They think the rest of the world is like their little state. You know, like like people in New York think the whole of New York City.
New York lives in a bubble.
Yeah, they think the rest of the country is like New York City.
Right.
They think the election showed that that's not true.
No.
You know,
But if you go to upstate New York, that's a whole different. I think it's almost like the South.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Rob, think about this. This is why the New York governor race is so interesting, because you have to win the city and you have to win the state. Because once you get north of White Plains, it's a totally different area.
Yeah.
But
Like
the largest concentration of people in New York City, in New York State, is in New York City. So you can lose the rest of the state as long as you get New York City.
Well, you figure, like, you have between New York City, Lower Westchester, and Long Island, that's like 10, 11 million people right there.
And what's the population of New York State?
Exactly.
29 million?
Like around 30 million. Well, actually, like 27 now, because we lost people.
Yeah, we lost them during COVID, and either through death or they moved out.
We're 20 million people in New York State.
Right, and 10 of them are in New York City.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. Okay. I mean, did you guys hear about, I mean, just to talk about, you mentioned the governor. They passed it, I don't know if she signed it yet, but she's about to sign this bill if she hasn't done it yet. That is going to allow taxpayer funds.
Yes, $10,000.
Right. No, 10 million.
Oh, 10 million. Oh my gosh.
10,000 is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
10 million towards Letitia James's defense fund.
Oh, wait. It's not Letitia James. It's anybody. It's anybody's personal defense.
Right. Which will be Letitia
James. Exactly.
Yeah, they're not calling it that, but that's what it is. So what we're seeing is a taxpayer slush fund.
Defense fund.
Okay, a defense fund for I mean, you know,
personal use.
For personal use. Yeah. How is that not the highest?
If you get a DUI in New York State and you're a politician, you can use taxpayer money to defend it. If you're charged with rape in New York State, you can use taxpayer money to defend you.
That's insane.
That is insane.
And in case anybody's wondering, you know, when Trump was on trial down in Lower Manhattan and whatever, he used, you know, before anybody gets wise and thinks he used taxpayer money, he didn't. He used his political action committee money, which is totally legal to use in those circumstances, because that's me and you donated to that, so it's they can do what they want with it. Taxpayer funded things, that's totally different. And I think this is such a jump in corruption. It's really disgusting.
But they don't care. They know it's corrupt. They just don't care.
No, they don't
care. They
don't. They need to be taken down. I mean, we need a Republican governor, and if we get one, he can clean house or she can clean house.
Well, Zeldin was close. He lost by like 4 points, which is the margin of error.
He's not going to run because he's running the EPA.
Yeah. But he, you know, it's like when, you know, Princess Leia in Star Wars. Help me, Lee Zeldin. You're our only hope. You know.
The Democrats now, you know, this whole, what is it called, inflation check that New Yorkers are supposed to be getting just before the election.
I heard about that, yeah.
I'm like, come on, they're buying your votes. They're buying your votes.
I think it's going to be like
legalized bribe
or something.
I think it's like $500. I don't know.
It depends. Like if you make like $100,000 or $150,000, you can get like $300. It's different for everybody.
But you have to pay taxes first.
Yeah, you gotta pay taxes.
If you don't pay taxes, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And they're probably going
And
to
you
tax
pay
the
tax on
inflation money.
And then they're going to tax it once you get
And
it,
they
of course.
tax it, as income at the end
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
Dude, let's talk about we got to talk about the jet. If Trump going to get the jet,
Yeah.
a luxury jet.
This is ridiculous. Okay, if just for the viewers, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you have. Qatar offered a $400 million jet that could be used. It's a Boeing jet that would be used as an Air Force One. Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
President. Now there are 2 Air Force Ones all the time.
Yeah.
For many years they've done it that way, and they're old. The ones
40 years old. 40 years old.
right? Maybe even a little older than that. And they were supposed to be replaced back in Trump's first term.
Yeah.
And Boeing just can't seem to get it done. I don't know what their problem is.
They don't have the work.
They've laid off workers, right? They got
Yeah.
Look, they don't have the facilities. They don't have the workers.
They say they can't get the parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that they're
But would you
pushing
want a
back to
Boeing jet
2030.
now?
What?
Would you really want a Boeing jet now?
No.
I don't
You
know.
know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Definitely, there's a bad connotation there now.
It comes with duct tape for the doors. What are you worried about?
Go to 30,000 feet, then it falls apart.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, if you took that jet from them, you gotta make sure you have the CIA
Oh,
test there because they'll be
they're gonna
spying.
dismantle that fucking thing. They're gonna strip it to bare bones.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
Okay, so-
they gotta
well,
retrofit it. They gotta retrofit it because he could nuke people from that thing from up in the air.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, there's all these things going on. People are saying, "Oh, it's a personal gift," and okay. So here's the law.
Gift.
It's a gift to the United States, and under the U.S. law, anything over $480 has to be a gift to the United States.
Yeah.
And that gift becomes property of National Archives. Like someone said, and he wants it in his.
Liberty.
He wants it in his exactly. He wants it in his presidential library. Well, if it's under National Archives, that's where it should go.
Well,
Because National Archives.
That's what it was like. The Library of Congress or somebody was gonna like take it after his term.
Yeah, I mean,
go home with it.
yeah, and people are acting like they gave it to him and he's just going to be rolling with it like a baller.
Yeah.
No, and they're saying, he's gonna, he's gonna owe them favors because they did that. Not only, then here's the other part of it that, the flip side of it that no one's even talking about much is Qatar ordered from Boeing a whole shitload of planes.
150.
Yeah.
And I think now it's up to 210.
Okay,
So
so
now
you
Boeing
just
has to hire people.
you just created a
Jobs.
massive account for Boeing
Yeah.
to make a lot of money. That's going
They're going to be making jets for like the next 10 years.
if
Yeah.
not more. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they have to hire staff.
I saw
So-
estimates that it would employ up to 1 million people for the lifespan of
the contract.
of the contract.
That's a lot.
That's a
Now,
lot. Of people.
now this thing, it's not just the people Boeing employs. It's all the other people that have to support them.
Yeah.
Restaurants, deliveries.
It trickles down.
Yeah, the people that make the parts.
The
Yeah,
truck
making
to
the car,
supply
that-
everything.
So that could easily be 2 million jobs.
Yeah.
Right. And who knows how much money generated. I mean,
Oh,
it's incredible. And no one's really talking about that. So, I mean, Trump is just, he's hopscotching across the Middle East, and he's just, winning. Now they're saying he may go to Turkey, right? Because the Ukraine-Russian talks that are going on in Istanbul.
Well, they had a 2-hour talk. Putin never showed.
Was he supposed to?
Okay, here's the thing with this. Putin said he might show, and I think that Zelensky kind of killed it when he said, "I challenge you, Putin, to show up."
Yeah, he doesn't know when to shut up.
He talks too much.
Yeah,
I challenge you. I'm like, bro.
What is this?
It's
A
not-
duel?
it's not-
You Aaron Burr?
Yeah, Aaron Burr. Yeah.
Look, I'm not trying to say Putin's the good guy in this because he's not.
No, he's not.
But I'm like, dude, you I can't even talk. Ukraine has lost half their army, half.
Yeah.
And Russia, they lost a lot of people too, but people have to remember, when you're the invading army, you usually lose 3-1. Right? You lose 3 times as much as the defender.
That's true.
So Putin is actually doing good in losses, and he's getting troops from China, North Korea, and the Middle East. So
and also
he doesn't care.
The thing with the Ukrainian soldiers is there's like battle fatigue, and they just don't want to. I think they don't want to re-enlist or whatever it is. Like they just don't want to be there and fight.
They don't even have the soldiers to re-enlist. Think about it. They had 1 million people, including reservists, to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And they've lost half of them between like deaths, captures, and just like disabilities and all that stuff. They've lost half their military. Now people say, "Oh, we're going to be giving them drones and all this modern stuff," which is great. But if you don't have anybody to use it,
man it,
doesn't make sense.
Who cares?
Speaking of people, they one thing that came out of the talks, I think yesterday or the day before, was they did a big prisoner swap, over 1,000 people. Okay, so that's good in a sense. Start, but they really got to have a full ceasefire in effect. And also, I know Putin. They just did some kind of underhanded shit going on where they hit Kyiv. Okay, recently, and they I think yesterday Putin met with one of his main generals there to discuss another type of attack that they're planning. I mean, if you're negotiating but you're still
attacking,
invading, that's not good either.
That's not good faith negotiation.
That's not the way to. It shows he may not want peace. And
Russia knows he can win.
Well, look, I think Trump made one big mistake, okay, prior to even being elected, is he played it like, listen, I can get this thing fixed.
Done it and it done. Yeah, it's like, no.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that was wrong to say, not because, look, we all knew that wasn't going to be the case.
Yeah.
He's just fucking shit, okay? But what it did is it kind of probably put Putin in a position like, well, I'm going to show you.
Exactly.
Okay, so he probably shouldn't have said that. But now we're at a point where at least they are at the table, which they haven't had for 4 years under Biden. Okay, and at least they're swapping prisoners, but they do have to get to a point where there's a ceasefire and then just work it from there. But I don't see that happening yet, unless the diplomacy's got to be better. Zelensky can't be saying, "I challenge you to show up."
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, Russia has nothing to lose. Like, people keep saying, Ukraine can hold out for the long run. They can't. And Putin knows this. Putin, and this is where the West, just like in the Middle East, the West doesn't understand
the mentality of the people.
The mentality of war and things with Russia. Russia's tactic, even back when I was in the military in the 80s, has always been, we will throw the kitchen sink at you. We don't care. We would just keep throwing troops until we're throwing our moms at you to win. We don't care about life, and people keep thinking, oh, well, Russia's people hate him and he's losing so many. He doesn't care.
Doesn't matter.
They don't care.
The less people, the more people killed in war, the less people he has to feed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it.
But it's a difference in mentality. Like, if they're like, we're Russian, we're gonna win, it's different than United States fighting, saying, I'm Joe from Nebraska.
Well, the Russian tactic has always been, we will wear you down. Like right now, Russians are literally sending troops in on donkeys, horses, like cars, right? And they know they're going to get slaughtered. But you know what? The other side has to use up ammo. The other side has to use up troops. Let's say they send in 500 troops and they kill 10. And maybe they use, the Ukrainians use $5 million worth of munitions to destroy it. Russia doesn't care.
Which is $5 less than they have to fight.
Because they lost a couple of like Russian Hyundais and some donkeys. They're like, so what? And people go, well, they don't have the troops. They don't have the resources. when they attacked Kursk, remember, they kept throwing all like the North Korean troops, their least trained people at Kursk. Once they got an opening, what did they send in? Spetsnaz. And that's always what Russia does. They keep the good stuff and they get a hole, and then they use the advanced weaponry and troops to exploit it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's not like the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come in with the lightweights, and then they come hit you with the big guns, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Just like happened in Andor when they sent those guys.
Yeah.
Well, these Russian soldiers can shoot, not like stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Well, in Andor, they can shoot.
They can shoot.
They've been trained.
Let me bring this up. Do you see how that whole thing with Biden, that they were protecting him? How Chuck Schumer was avoiding questions, and a bunch of these Democrats are like avoiding these questions because Biden was gone, man. Biden. Did
you listen to the audio?
Oh yeah. He's gone, man. He's not the same. He's gone.
Remember what I said last year? How it was weekend at Bob's. This proves my point.
Yeah,
he was like, yeah. In 2017, 18, you know, I was going through. My son was deployed, or he was dying. Well, Mr. President, your son died in 2015. Oh, yeah, yeah.
How about the thing with George Clooney? He didn't even recognize who George Clooney was.
Right.
And he was raised just for him.
Well, I think this. It was a conspiracy to defraud the government, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
If Biden lost office, people would have lost jobs.
Yeah.
So his staff members were propping him up as in perfect condition to keep their jobs. The media, and we know they were doing better under Biden because as soon as Trump got elected, their revenue went tanked. It tanked. Yeah. So they were trying to keep Biden in office. So these are all people, and under the law, if you're doing something, if you're telling a lie or saying things for personal gain, that's a RICO crime.
Ooh. Right there, RICO. People don't like
that. So, a whole bunch of people working together.
Yeah. It's racketeering.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you want to hear, what if there are cocaine they found in Buster Hunter? Might have been Biden's cocaine.
It
proved that it was done.
It was the president of Francis.
Yeah, I saw that. They put that on the table. What was that thing on the table? Look at
it was poutine. Yeah.
But that whole thing with Biden was holy shit, man. And then they asked Chuck Schumer, "Hey, what do you think of?" And he avoided the question. Like these guys,
it's like we're going to talk about the future. We don't want to talk about.
He's Neo in the Matrix.
It was weird how he fought that off. It's like, yo, what you guys are doing, man? What the
fuck? What's crazy is like Jake Tapper is acting like it's something, because he wrote the book.
Yeah.
About it, and he's acting like, oh, it's some big revelation. I go, dude, you were the biggest supporter.
Yeah, he was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, you were the biggest defender.
Exactly.
I mean, Eric, I blew some guy's head off the other day and told him, dude, Trump can't run for president again. But is there anything in the Constitution that say he can't run for vice president?
No. Well, and that's something I had said before.
We did this up last time, how it would work.
He can't be elected, but he can be appointed. Now, this would never happen. It would
never happen.
But let's say J.D. Vance became president. He appointed Trump as the vice president, or he put him on the ticket, right? Remember, you're electing the president, not the vice president.
Vice president,
yeah.
Right. So then Vance steps down.
He recuses himself.
Yeah. And then Trump appoints Vance as the vice president.
As vice president?
That would be the shadiest crap in the world. And I think you should get impeached for doing it, but it could happen.
It could happen.
Can you imagine?
To see it, just to see their heads explode.
Whoopi Goldberg would do a 24-hour rant.
No, she would just move to like Africa.
What happened? Remember Cory Booker? He did a rant for 25
hours.
He filibustered for 25 hours.
What policy?
It wasn't even a filibuster. It was just a speech.
Yeah.
He had nothing to filibuster. Yeah,
No.
there
Dude,
was
what the
there
hell
was
can
no
you
bill.
talk for 25 hours about?
Yeah,
First of all,
crap.
you take a bathroom break?
I guess you do. Yeah.
Was he standing behind a podium? Because you never know.
Does he have a wetsuit on?
That guy,
In a dry suit.
he has to be at one of P. Diddy's freak-offs. Cory Booker. He just reminds me of a guy that would definitely be at one of those things.
I bet you he was, and Kamala Harris. Come on.
Yeah.
Kamala picked him up.
Back up a second. Wasn't Booker a few years back? I think it was during the Obama administration, maybe the last term. Wasn't he accused of some kind of sexual assault to a dude?
And I remember that because everybody was like saying, I don't know, Booker, which side of the fence you're on.
Yeah. What side?
He got those eyes.
Yeah. Fucking weird eyes. Jeez.
Like a friend of ours.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being gay or anything, but like, dude.
About Buddha like that. He'll try to defend himself. So let me hold on. I'm looking for something right now, and I'm going to bring up the picture of the guys running, all the people running for mayor, the Democratic Party running for mayor. Look at these fucking motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, the first two are the ones we got to worry about, but these other people, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just can't see how Adams can win.
He's not going to win
unless like Republicans mobilize like crazy. Republicans and independents mobilize to vote in Adams.
It's not going to happen. They're going to vote for Sleeper. They're going to
vote. No, their vote there. It's looking like what Cuomo is ahead.
Oh yeah, but what I think what Adams needs to do is he needs to really push home to the Me Too movement and say, hey, and the Me Too movement's not going to vote for him, but they may just stay home.
If somebody stays home,
I
think that helps the Republicans more.
Well, that's what I'm saying, or the independents.
Yeah.
Independents are flocking to who in New York at this point?
I think the independents will be going with Adams.
Not Sliwa.
No.
Sliwa can't.
No. Sliwa, if anything, Sliwa would be the reason why Adams didn't win.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to bring up, with that third choice ranking.
No, not him. He's not right. Not that guy.
You know the thing with that ranked choice ranking. You know what?
Voting.
Somebody could win by a split, so they're going to
split
between Republicans and Democrats. And you can have some motherfucker like the Zohan guy that he's a threat, and anybody with a fucking Adam Sandler character name, Zohan.
Yeah. Don't mess with the Zohan.
This guy's talking about like I'm gonna Lord Ren. Dude, this guy ain't gonna do shit. The first thing he's gonna do, he's gonna win. They're gonna sit him down and they're gonna give him a talking to. This is gonna happen.
Exactly.
Like every politician's gonna bend their knee, and everybody's like, "Oh, Zohan. Do you really want what is he? Is that guy even from here?
Is he from planet Earth?
Where's he from? I think that dude looks
he's from planet Fuckatron.
Like, where did this guy come from? And everybody's liking him, man. Or like they were super, super liberal. To me, this is like another AOC, a smoky mirror. Let's put this guy in.
But then again, with all the stuff happening with tariffs, that could be a boon for more Republicans or more people to vote Republican in New York, and especially with all the stuff going on with the border. Yeah, and that's where Adams is strong. I think he has a secret following because places like the Upper East Side and Upper West Side are being affected heavily by what's happening with the crime and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the problem
But who
is?
do the Republicans have that's a viable? Because Sleeway can't win.
The Republicans don't have anybody.
They don't have nobody. Sleepway's like the only one.
Republicans have Adams. Adams, for all intents and purposes, is a Republican.
But I don't think that guy can win, dude. I don't think that guy can win.
Well, he's running as an independent, but I don't know. It's kind of like they're gonna really beat on him that in the media that he bent the knee to Trump, he did all of this stuff. But you have Cuomo who resigned for sexual harassment. This guy resigned.
They don't care.
Yeah. I mean, he had to step down. How is that okay? Okay, you know what it is? It's because they're so fucking corrupt.
Dude, that guy shouldn't even be allowed to fucking run. That guy should not even be
allowed
allowed
to hold office. Okay,
Yeah.
These people that are supporting Cuomo, which supposedly is the majority, all right, as far as Democrats go, they're fucking Trump deranged. I'm sorry, okay, because the idea, the only reason they're going with Cuomo is they think he can win. Okay, recognition, all that. Also. They're gonna they say to everybody, well, you elected a rapist, you elected a felon, you elected for president, so we're gonna elect this guy because he'll be our Trump.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
and I've heard people say exactly that point.
They've actually admitted that.
But wait up, did any of the charges against Trump stood up? No, he beat every single one of them.
No,
So
and first of all,
Cuomo didn't even get. Cuomo stepped down because he knew if he would have gone, he would have lost.
They had tape.
That's a whole different thing.
What Cuomo did.
It wasn't a he shed, she shed from 30 years ago,
right?
With no forensic evidence, no anything. It was actual video and
it
tape.
was a civil trial. With Trump, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Look, I hate to say it. I go on trial civilly, and I'm found out I'm guilty of sexual assault. And I have to pay out something. It doesn't go on my record. I'm not criminally charged with it.
You're not a sex offender.
I'm not. I don't have to be listed as a sex offender. Okay. So really, it's nothing. All it is a big fine, which he's probably not going to pay. Yeah. If you remember OJ, okay, when he got
found innocent and then he got found liable in civil court.
He was found
and you know how much
of the criminal case. He was found guilty of the civil case, and he had to pay out like $33 million.
He never paid that. He paid.
And he basically told. No, what he did was this was smart. He put a lot of his assets in his kids' names, so on paper he's not worth much, and you couldn't go after his NFL pension.
Right.
So essentially, he was good.
So the Goldmans got ugats. They got nothing, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. He told essentially he told him to go fuck himself.
But that shows you the problem with civil court. Civil court, you don't need you don't need
reasonable doubt.
No, but you don't need my brain is cramped. You don't need everybody to agree. You just need a majority. Whereas in criminal court, it has to be unanimous.
Right.
Yeah.
OJ was found unanimously in criminal court to be innocent. Now, people may say this, say that, whatever, but in a criminal court, he was found innocent. How can you be found innocent in criminal court but liable
in civil court?
Because the evidence is different. It's differently. Okay.
Remember, the burden of proof, it has to be in criminal court beyond a reasonable doubt. So if there's some doubt in civil, and if you get a 7-5 jury, you're good.
You're good.
Also, in civil court, if you don't testify, it can be held against you. In criminal court, you can't be held against you. Yeah.
But you want to hear something where OJ writes a book. If I would have done it, what the fuck? You're throwing yourself right under the bus. Jimmy Stupid Fried Snooker did the same thing. He murdered a woman, but he was so messed up he couldn't even stand trial.
I just say OJ didn't do it. Never said the guy was smart.
You know what I think did it? I think it was the time when FIFA was coming to the United States and soccer was going to take over football. But football was like, you know what, screw that. Let's take OJ's wife out.
No, honestly, you know what? Honestly, you know what I think?
It was Roger Goodell.
Honestly, I think OJ's son did it. The black son.
A lot of people have been saying that. I'll be honest with you. Back then, I didn't follow the courts, so I don't know. Like, I get into discussions with people that go, "Well, what do you? I guess you think OJ's innocent too?" I go, well, "I don't know." At the time, I was working. There was no social media, so
It was that guy, Caleb. It was the guy, Cat, whatever is the guy,
Cato. What was his name? Cato, Caitlin, like that.
Honestly, I think his son did it because the son didn't like her because you know how kids are, and you know, like remember his OJ got divorced from the black wife, and then he's dating this white girl, so. You know, like
the coalition did it.
To be together.
But then
I don't know. So you're saying a black kid just because he doesn't like the white stepmom is going to practically decapitate her? I don't know.
Dude, you would be surprised.
Yeah, seriously. People have been murdered for less.
Yeah, it's true.
Nicole Simpson, she started sleeping with a bunch of his friends too. You know.
Yeah, I think AC hit it.
A bunch of them hit him.
Yeah.
Who?
The one who was AC Callens, the one who was driving the Bronco. I think Marcus Allen hit it. Marcus Allen smashed. Yeah.
See, I don't know nothing about that, so I was like,
yeah.
I wasn't there. Was it me?
Sure?
Wasn't me.
You know what? Let's segue into something. Let's talk about hitting shit. Let's segue into this motherfucker.
Who, Puff?
My God!
Like I said off camera before. I mean, he actually looks good in that picture compared to the.
Oh, bro! I see that.
The case, like the text message, dude. If I was a juror, I would be like, "Wait, I gotta watch this again."
Well, look at
my wife was telling me that she knew a bunch of people that were getting up at like 4:00 in the morning to take the train into the courthouse that will stand on line to get in because apparently they're letting the public in to this trial.
But the video,
so nobody has jobs.
That's a holy shit. The shit that she was
talking
about.
Who has time to wake up at 4 a.m. to drive down to see somebody else on court?
Yeah, and stand on line.
Instead, you got to stand on line to get into the building to go to this trial. Nobody has a job.
Fun employment.
Well, because you could just slide in.
I'm getting home from work.
Well, talking about court, what about the judge that just got indicted for helping that?
Was that in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah, the female judge that got. Yeah, she let the guy out the back door.
And now she's trying to say because I'm a judge, you can't
I have
charge
judicial
me.
Immunity.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Oh, what happened? I didn't hear this.
There was a woman, female judge in Wisconsin that was accused of basically she had a illegal in front of her, right? She ruling on something?
He was being charged with assault on several people. Right. And the ICE agents were in the hallway. They let everybody know. They said, "Hey, we're in the hallway. We're not going to come into the courtroom. We're going to arrest this person. We got a deportation order, right? An administrative deportation order." She came out when she found it. Well, somebody in the courtroom took pictures of them, told the judge. She came out and told them, "You have to have a judicial warrant." No, because immigration is administrative, so administrative warrant works. So she told them they had to go see the Chief Justice. Yeah. Right? They went to the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice says, yeah, you know, the arrests have been made in the hallway. That's fine. But hold on here a minute. She went, she snuck back in through like some hallways to get back to a courtroom, expedited the man's
release.
Expedited his hearing. Yeah. Right. Didn't let the prosecutor in the courtroom know what she was doing, right? Because the prosecutor had never actually met Garcia. I mean, not Garcia, the guy or his lawyer. So she really didn't know what he looked like. Yeah. Then the judge escorted them. If you've ever been on jury duty, you know where the jurors come in. Yeah. Regular people don't go to there. Only two people go to that entrance, either jurors or somebody who is arrested in custody. She took them through that exit walked them around the corner or to the hall to get away from
The ICE agents.
And meanwhile, the prosecutor, she didn't even tell the prosecutor that she adjourned the case. The prosecutor sitting there going, okay, when's my case coming up? Oh, I adjourned it. You didn't let me know? You didn't let me know?
Should she be like disbarred for that?
At best. I mean,
she had an ex parte meeting, which means she had a meeting with just one party that affected the case. That's in the what's his name? In the case that's in Fulton County. A judge got removed from the bench for that.
Mm-hmm.
For having an ex parte meeting. So you can't do that. If you have a meeting,
removed from the bench, she should be disbarred and she should be arrested.
Yeah,
with something.
Well, she's trying to say that her escorting him out to the back door was part of her judicial duties. But if you look at the law, yes, a judge can't be charged for their judicial duties. But if they do things in bad faith, they can be criminally charged.
Sure.
And what she did was definitely in bad faith.
Yeah,
becoming a judge is not a license to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's like the district judges now.
What kind of show? They hurt somebody?
Well, did you hear what Alito said about the district judges?
Yeah.
When he said they have this occupational disease that they think they're always right and they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, about the Supreme Court, I'm just going to say this. Some of these rulings that have come down that are a little shady, it just seems like all we really have to trust is Alito and Thomas.
Yeah.
All right. These new guys that came in, forget it. I don't know. They don't rule the same all the time. You never know.
I think it's very even though a lot of them are conservative, they change the shit all the time. They're like,
but only Alito and Thomas never changed.
Well, Alito called them out with the ACLU basically extorted the SCOTUS. They said, if you don't give us, okay, so what happened was they made an appeal. They brought a case to stop deportation in district court. They gave the district court judge an hour to make a decision.
Right.
Then they went to the appeals court, and the appeals court said, no, I can't do anything until I hear from the district judge.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they went directly to SCOTUS, right? And they told SCOTUS, if you don't give us an emergency injunction, we are going to file in every district across the nation.
Wow.
Right? And they did this at like midnight. So everybody signed on except for Thomas and Alito. And that's when Alito gave that scathing dissent that said, if we expect the executive branch to abide by the law, we have to do it too.
Yeah,
right.
Makes sense.
Right, exactly.
Because the SCOTUS had no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Because it was still in the district court.
Okay. Let's change gears for a second. I'm going to ask you guys opinions.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the new Pope yet? What do you think?
Well, I hear he's a Villanova guy, and if it gets my Knicks a ring, have at it.
All right.
He's also a White Sox. He's a White Sox fan.
He is.
Right?
Oh boy.
He's a White Sox.
So Rob,
fan.
we're not winning this year.
Chicago White Sox. So
I haven't been following it much. I just know he's made in America. So
he's made in America.
There was that meme that went around saying, the tariffs are so good, even the Pope is made in America.
Dude, but you know what I was telling to somebody? I think once Trump put himself at the Pope, they said, we got to make an American Pope.
Well, an American Pope is a really big thing.
Big statement. It's a big statement, and I think the timing of it, the fact that Trump is president, and I knew exactly what he would say, and he pretty much said it. All right, he said, it's great that the Pope is from America. That's they were looking for that kind of and actually, I follow this, okay, and the Vatican Bank is broke. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they're still the richest entity in the world with property and all that stuff. But liquid wise, they're not doing too good.
Cash,
right?
Well, I don't know, Mike. I don't know more so in Long Island, but maybe Queens. But a lot of parishes and Catholic schools in the Bronx are closing. Like the one I went to as a
years.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a long time. But at the same time that's happening, the reason that happened a lot was because a lot of these dioceses had to pay out. Abuse cases and things like that finally settled after 20-something years. Okay. But there actually is a movement in the United States that's generating money, and I think the Vatican wants to tap into it. And that's the traditional Latin Mass movement. Okay. I actually attend that. Okay. And it's I won't get into a whole religious discussion, but I think it's great. But it's actually rising in America, and they want to tap into that because they think they could probably raise money on that. That's why the Pope, if you notice, it was impressive. I mean, he came out and he was wearing the traditional red vestment. Okay. Francis never wore that. Francis was always like simple white vestments. It may not mean anything to somebody that's not Catholic, but when you look at it and you understand it, there's a lot of symbolism there. Right. And also, he did his speech in Latin.
But wasn't that the reforms in the 60s that they got away from Latin and the priest used to speak with his back to the people?
Yes. Yeah. Well, if you go to the Latin Mass now, okay, it's done the way it was done for almost 2,000 years. Okay. The 1960s under Vatican II changed a lot of things where, like you say, the priest now faces the congregation. Okay. But in the Latin Mass, he doesn't always do that. He's usually facing just the altar, and it's a totally different experience. But this particular Pope, he also took the name of Leo XIV, which sent signals out to traditional Catholics as well, because Leo XIII is very revered in that community. Okay. And there's actually some similarities between the two. Leo XIII was brought in the late 1800s. He was Pope for about 20 years. Okay. He actually was brought in almost as a liberal. Okay. But turned out to be the opposite. Okay. And what he had to deal with was the rise of socialism and communism. And he wrote a bunch of encyclicals, and one particular was an excellent one, based on how corporations and how the capitalism has to have faith as well. Okay, that if you're a socialist and you don't have faith, well, that's wrong. Okay, so that's kind of stuff that you're seeing today in a way. All right, I mean, you look at the socialist movement, the democratic social movement in America. I mean, there is no faith in that. AOC is not talking about God.
No.
Okay, anything.
But that's the other thing. You always want to separate religion, and religion and government should never be two things.
That's not what that means, though, Rob. It doesn't mean putting it together and making
it just means you can't focus on one religion.
On one thing.
You can let's say you say we're going to have the Quran in schools. That means you have to have all religious writings in schools. You can't favor any one religion.
Well, they can't, when they talk, first of all, we all know that the term separation of church and state is nowhere in the Constitution.
No,
it's not. That term is never used.
Right.
What it says is that the government cannot have a state religion. Like Iran, the state religion is Islam. Okay, Saudi Arabia, same thing. You can't build a Christian church in Saudi Arabia.
No.
Okay, you can't do that. You can't do that in Iran. Okay, so if we didn't have to use the term separation of church and state, you could have a situation where they say, okay, we're going to be a Christian only country,
right?
But that's not what we do. All right. that's not what that means. It also does not mean that it's you can't mention religion at all. Okay, there's a fine line. Okay, if I'm a religious person, if I'm a Christian and my convictions come from Christian morality, if I'm doing things right, I have to draw on that to make my decisions. If I'm a president or a governor or a senator, whatever, there's nothing wrong saying I draw my convictions from Christianity. That's not against anything. Okay.
Like when Congress gives the benediction before a lot of meetings and stuff like that, and they have a Catholic priest and they have a Jewish rabbi
at the same time.
Often speak. Yeah. So they can have religion. Yeah. They can't just say, oh, well, only Christians, only rabbis.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, a lot of people think that just because, some Southern Baptist, politician mentions God in a speech or mentions his church or where he gets his ideas from, that's not illegal.
No.
But there's people that will say, and I'm talking about the leftist progressives like AOC as an example, that would have a problem with that just because he mentioned God. Oh, don't mention God in a speech. You can't do that. That's not.
Oh, you can.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
And it was always done. It was always done.
I mean, presidents swear in on the Bible or whatever. I mean, you could have that, but it gets to the point when, like, for example, when I forget what state it was it Wisconsin that they wouldn't allow a Christian diocese to have tax exempt status, but they allowed other religions to have it.
That's religious
discrimination. Yeah, and SCOTUS said, "Oh no,
cannot do that.
You can't do that.
Can't do that
because it's preferential treatment. You can't have that. Okay,
and it's discrimination against
the other way.
Right.
So it. I mean, all that it's simple. It's cut and dry. I don't think the Supreme Court would ever argue about that.
No.
But
that's
briefly, just to wrap up talking about the Pope for a second, is I my first impressions, I've heard different things about him when he was Cardinal Prevost in Chicago. Apparently he was a little bit on the progressive side, and Pope Francis, who was very progressive, put him in charge of certain things. And, but he's not Pope Francis. So he's not going to be Pope Francis 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, I think this guy's going to take a little old school.
I think he's going to be a little old school, like a bridge. Okay. And he's 69 years old. He's about to be 70. So he's still fairly young. Okay.
He's got another 20, 25 years.
He could last 20 years. Sure, he could. Okay.
Because I know a lot of people had issues with Pope Francis with some of his progressive views on like gay marriage and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, my position was always the worst thing about him was he was just confusing. Okay. And you can't have confusion at the top. See, one myth that people will say is that Catholics worship the Pope or they think he's infallible and all. That's not true. Okay, Pope is just a man. All right, but only when he speaks in terms of doctrine, and he has to actually announce that he's doing this, is when it's considered infallible. Okay, it doesn't happen much. All right,
because I got from what I was led to believe, the Pope is supposed to be the closest person to God.
He's supposed to be God's representative on earth.
They call it the vicar of Christ on earth. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, his main job is to uphold the teachings of the church. And what people had a problem with Francis, and I agreed with this for the most part, is he kind of turned a few things on their head. Okay. Yeah. And he was saying it under the premise of, well, we have to love everybody and we have to, we do have to love everybody, but that doesn't mean we have to accept the lifestyles of certain people and treat it with an equality of everything else.
That's literally contradictory to the Bible.
Well, like everybody knows, I'm not a religious person.
Yeah.
But I respect religions, and look, people are going to believe what they believe. You can't force them to change their religious writings and scriptures or whatever. You know, if that's what they believe, that's what they believe. If you don't want to be part of it, don't be part of it. But you know, that's my whole thing. Don't start changing it.
Yeah, no, you can't. Okay, you're not gonna. And then his job as Pope is not to do that. Okay, you can't.
Because if you're changing it, then what you're saying is God was wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I say that. Okay. So what I found fascinating is when Pope Francis passed away, and even before he did, but especially when he did, is how the left jumped all over this like he was like the greatest pope of all time.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. And the majority, I'm talking 99% of the people commenting, A, we're not Catholic. B, if they were not practicing. C, they were probably never even aware of Francis at all until he became Trump enemy number one.
Half of these people didn't even have confirmation or went to their first communion.
They would never comment about the Pope. The only reason why Francis was loved by the left is because he was framed as an enemy of Trump. I don't think he really was. I mean, he's got bigger shit to do than that. Okay, you have to lead 1 billion Catholics across the world. You know, you're a little bit bigger than the president.
A little bit boggled down.
Yeah, right.
You see what J.D. Van did?
Well, he went right over to kiss the ring. Yep.
He went over there.
He's over there now.
When he was
well,
now he's going to visit Pelosi and Biden. Finish that trifecta.
Supposedly, as Cardinal, Pope Leo XIV, when he was Cardinal Prevost, he tweeted out something negative about Vance regarding immigration. And of course, you know, the media has scoured everybody's social media and looked at prior posts and this and that, you know, and they looked at something he said, and I don't remember exactly what it was worded like, but basically like, you know, you got it wrong. Jesus wouldn't have acted like that regarding immigration, something on those regards. Mm-hmm. First of all, at that point, he's just a cardinal of Chicago. Yeah. Okay. And, you know, he's also under the thumb of Francis, who did kind of rule like a tyrant, from what I understand. Okay. So, you know, he probably was told to put it on his social media. I mean, this is not a democracy going on in the Vatican. All right. This is not like.
Well, you know, let's be fair. Heaven has import and deport rules.
Yeah. Hell. If you're illegally in the you go right
yeah. You cross the pearly gates illegally, you're getting deported.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking a hole opens up and you just fall right down into it. Yeah. But my position is the jury is out. I'm optimistic. I like him so far. Yeah. I haven't seen anything in a week that turned me off. So we'll see what happens. But anything else you want to get to, guys? Or you want to wrap things up?
Well, just what we were just talking about, J.D. Vance. Yeah, Look at his accomplishments in the last 5 months versus Harris's accomplishments for her whole term as vice president.
4 years,
her whole career as a public servant.
Because he was the one of the major pushers between the ceasefire in India and Pakistan.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was he involved in talks there? Did he go there?
Yeah. He was the one that went.
Oh, I didn't see that. See,
but you know, you have Rubio was talking to the guy from the Ukraine. Rubio was out there too. All these guys are out there doing what they're supposed to do. Unlike the Biden administration, these guys seemed like they were on vacation for the minute they got in.
Well, they were. If it was like an LGBTQ thing, they were first on it. But anything else, like you have the border czar, who's the vice president at the time, and it was like open season.
Yeah,
she did nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if it's a detention center, Democrats will be there in a heartbeat. But meanwhile, Rikers or in Fulton County, where people are dying in the prison left and right, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just briefly, just got to mention, I mean, what were these Democrat leaders breaking into the ICE facility in New Jersey doing? What the hell
Dude,
was that?
well, first of all, people got to understand. Members of Congress, yes, they have the right to be there, and they were allowed to go in, and they actually said the conditions were fine.
Yeah.
A mayor does not have. A mayor is state.
Of Newark. Okay.
Is state. The 10th Amendment, he does not have the right to go into a federal facility. He was like, it's federal land. It's a federal facility. You have no right to go in.
But Eric, you saw what they did? They showed the body cam and his account was different.
Dude, that lady was
nice
full
to
of
him to open
people.
the thing. It wasn't like they just went and they tackled him down the dick, because there was two very different stories to that thing. And the body cam, we actually got the cops out there.
Yeah.
So
he was lying basically about what happened.
Yeah. Pretty much. So they
once you cross that fence and you're on federal property, you are trespassing.
Right.
They gave him several warnings to leave, and he didn't do it. So finally he left, and then somebody called up and said, "Arrest that guy for trespassing."
Wow.
But you know what? They did let him in to a certain point. They didn't let him on the way. They told him, "Now you can't be here." Pretty much, they did let him in. It wasn't like he.
Well, no, they didn't let him in. He came in. He forced his way in, and they said, "No, you got to stop. You got to leave."
Yeah. No,
and he refused to leave.
If you look at the video, they opened the gate for him, and then some guys.
No, they opened the gate for the members of Congress.
Oh, that's
and he just slipped in. And they were like, "You're good. You're good.
You got to go.
You got to go.
Yeah.
You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you."
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
But it's good, but these guys are all trying to get involved with this thing, and it's like, you know what? We're the only country.
Well, he's running for governor too.
Yeah, he is.
But we're like the only country that shit like this happened. In other countries, they will put you and send you down.
Canada probably would let it slide.
Huh?
Nah,
Canada would let it slide.
Canada wouldn't even let their own citizens back into their country for COVID.
Canada are assholes, man. If you got a fucking driving ticket, you can't even go to Canada. That's
in COVID, if they don't like your protesting, they take your bank account.
Yeah, that's what they did in Canada. The truck drivers. Yeah. Imagine that.
They just said, I met some people down in Florida during COVID, and they said they couldn't go back to Canada because the Canadian government seized their bank accounts.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
they said luckily they had a business in Florida also. They said, we got money here.
Yeah.
They said, but all our Canadian assets have been seized because of they were outside of the country and protesting or something like that.
That's fucking funny, man.
That's crazy.
Savage.
I had an idea, guys. I wanted to kind of maybe we'll do this every show.
Yeah.
Or every show, whatever. But we got to have like we have sometimes we have the motherfucker of the week. Okay.
Oh, my motherfucker is Chuck Schumer. This after those questions that they actually could even answer a question, and this is the guy that want all the fucking camera time. You know what? We gotta get rid of fucking Chucky. He's giant fucking cock.
He's got to go. But AOC might primary him, but I don't want her either.
No, we don't want her either, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. What I was gonna say is every day I hear the worst stuff from people that really have nothing but misinformation from the media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that believe things are happening that are not happening. So I can't say who this person is. It's nobody I know personally, but this person just moved. This is a woman who has an autistic child and is married to a guy. They're a married couple, and the child is autistic. Just the husband and the child just moved to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they believe that Trump is going to start a war with China and only draft autistic children. Okay, and this person, is actually a well-to-do professional person, and believe that I don't know where they heard this or whatever, but they believe that Elon Musk
believed it enough so that they moved.
Well, the wife is going to be following, but the husband already left, and the child already left to get out of the country because he's going to be drafted to fight China because he's autistic.
Fucking private pile over here.
I mean, if it's okay to do background checks for guns, they should do background checks for people that want to vote, because these people should not be voting.
Oh no,
exactly. But I hear stuff like this almost on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are you getting your information?
Memes and TikTok. Look, I have a rule on Facebook. Even if people disagree with my views, I don't 86 them. I don't get rid of them, with seashells or whatever. Because I want to hear what they have to say. And some of the things I hear, like the conspiracy theories about Trump being shot, he had a blood capsule in his hand, and they hired somebody to shoot. And I'm like, what? I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, a guy died in the audience.
Yeah.
Shot badly in the audience. You think that if Trump, for even a second, was going to create that kind of fake scenario, he would get away with it?
Dude, if anybody who has ever fired a firearm, acknowledge you, and you know, dude. Yeah. Hitting somebody from that distance in the ear, grazing the ear, grazing the ear is impossible. I don't care how good you are.
Right.
The guys that recreated it.
The what?
There was those guys, and I want to say they're from like Florida, somewhere. Obviously not New York. They tried to recreate that.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
No, you can't.
This guy had a bottom level AR-15. No, it wasn't an M16. The crappiest ones with he didn't even have a zoom. He didn't even have a zoom scope. Right? And come on.
Yeah, it was
well, ridiculous. This is the thing.
And remember, here's the thing. You got to factor in wind velocity, the fact that Trump was moving around.
But they don't care about that.
His acceptance speech. Yeah, if you see his acceptance speech, he was saying that if I didn't move at that particular time, I'm not having this conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. Like what Mike was saying with the people with the autism, there is absolutely no proof for that.
No, there's no proof. It's people just being.
They're just out of their fucking minds. They're just Trump deranged. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We just mentioned the 86-47 thing real quick.
Yeah.
Comey, who's a total moron, okay, does this, and if you look at it, okay, first of all, he's trying to say that he's just happened to come across this on the beach. Okay, that's ridiculous enough. Okay, but all the shells are the same. Okay, so I think that he bought them in some fucking store and just put that out there. We don't even know if he's looking at the beach or a litter box.
This is what you got to look at. Is he releasing a book?
Yes.
Or is he? If he's just releasing a book, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
To get notoriety. He, as a former FBI director or whatever, he knows what 86 means. Come on.
Of course he does. How could he not?
Now, 86 doesn't necessarily mean an assassination.
No, it could be thrown out.
But in today's climate,
it means that.
In today's climate, he was a former FBI director, and I'm pretty sure there's people still in the FBI that are loyal to him. Yeah. If you say 86-47,
you're sending out a signal.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted, no charges are going to be brought because of the Brandenburg tests. There has to be
irrefutable evidence.
Imminent. It has to be imminent. You have to say, like, if he said 86-47 on this date at this place, it's a crime.
Right.
But if he just says 86-47, it's not imminent, so it falls under free speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they brought him in, I think, last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
They brought him in for questioning, and they released him after, I think, a couple of months. Okay. Yeah. So that's all it's going to be. Tulsi Gabbard is out there saying he should be arrested, locked up. I don't think that's going to happen, but he was at least brought in.
Yeah.
So it shows, because if you did it or I did it, we would be brought in for questions.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and
But
they would look at our backgrounds and they say, it's not worth it. These guys are just, idiots.
Well, when they do this stuff, when these people do these things, they're usually doing it for publicity. That's why I said, did he release a book? Is he running for office?
He has a book out. It's like some true crime book or something.
Yeah, and they do that so that they get in the news.
Podcast.
Yeah, they do that so they get in the news, and
and get some media buzz.
Right.
Yeah, get
right. That's and he's getting it because.
Oh yeah.
I think that the story should go away. Actually, I think that the right should stop talking about it today. Let it go.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's like when I saw it,
you're just feeding the. Why give him the attention?
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, nah.
I mean, he's a fucking idiot. It's stupid. Okay, and it could send. I mean, obviously, if you're some crazy Trump deranged person with guns, you might interpret that as. Yeah, this is my calling card. You know what I mean? It could go like that, but either way, just let it go. Don't feed the flames.
No.
Of it. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So let's wrap up.
Yes,
Rob. I'm gonna just mention quick, everybody. I have a Substack. Just look under Rocker Mike on Substack. I've had this thing for a couple of years. I just started using it in the last month or two. All our shows are on Getting Lumped Up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Up channel. You guys want to, Eric? You got anything going on? You want to talk?
Well, I have my website, Something to Ponder, where I talk about the latest political events, and I break it down from a neutral view. Yeah. It's at stponder.com.
Okay. Knowledge. Anything you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good right now. Just about to get into my martial arts, and I'm about to start working on my instrumental album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna name it Order 66. So I'm gonna chop up a bunch of Star Wars stuff, put some beats on it, and I'll let you know when it's out.
All right, definitely. We'll have to do a full interview with you or something. That sounds interesting.
All right.
Rob, anything you want to add before we go?
Don't get drunk.
Get lumped up.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Take care.
Later.